Today, we are breaking down the pros and cons of living in Minneola, Florida. So let's break it down. Welcome back to Unlocking Central Florida, from Orlando to Tampa and everywhere in between. If you're new to the channel, hi, I'm Jake, and if you're looking to buy or sell a home in the future, there's information linked below the video. The first pro of living in Minneola, Florida is that it's a very scenic, beautiful area with a lot of hills, greenery, and of course you have Lake Minneola with large lakeside beachfront restaurants and walking, and you have a lot of different lake activities on Lake Minneola, as well as you're connected to Claremont and everything that Claremont has to offer right nearby, with all of the restaurants and things to do in Claremont as well as Minneola. There's a lot of different trailheads, and of course you're not too far from Winter Garden either, and all of the parks and trails over there as well. And just in general, there's a lot of really beautiful scenery in the area if you like the hills, the trees, and the lake as well. So if you like getting outside and enjoying the outdoor activities in your day-to-day local life, then Minneola can be a really great place for you to live. And the first con that people have noted living in Minneola is that it has limited things to do, especially for young adults who are wanting more social activities. If you're wanting more of a city feel and being in a more broader young adult area like a college town or a big city downtown, it can lack some of that if you're looking for that type of vibe in particular. However, not everyone's looking for that type of vibe, but if that's something you're looking for in particular, then Minneola might not be the right fit for you. And the second pro of living in Minneola, Florida is that it's close to Disney and it's close to the Turnpike. So you can go up to the Turnpike if you're willing to take the toll, and that can make it really convenient for commutes. And of course, it's not too far from Disney. A lot of people moving to Central Florida are looking somewhere close to Disney, as well as having other amenities as well. And I think that it really marries the two together really well, of being a somewhat convenient location as far to Disney and of course getting around Central Florida. And then it has a lot of nice local amenities as well as being very scenic as well. And the second con that people have noted who live in Minneola, Florida, is that it's getting more and more developed. There's less farms and cows and there's more housing. So it's getting a little bit more crowded, and just the feel of the area has changed. A lot of people who have lived there for a long time had really liked that it had a more rural feel with a lot of cows and farms and just more open space and land. And now it's getting a little bit more developed and filled in. So for some people, that is a con and a downside to Minneola. However, much of Central Florida in general is getting more developed. So it's just par for the territory if you're looking to move to Central Florida. And if you're looking for somewhere more rural with more cows and farms, you might have to go a little bit further out, maybe more towards Ocala, or go further out into, say, Polk County, going further out away from Davenport, more towards Lakeland, going out further, not all the way to Lakeland, but just going a little bit further out or further down south below Haines City. And the third and final pro of living in Minneola, Florida is that it's a peaceful, quiet, calm area compared to many other parts of Central Florida, but yet it still has a lot of really great local amenities. And with that, it just doesn't have as much traffic and isn't as busy as a lot of the other areas in Central Florida. And yet it still has a lot of really great amenities, some really beautiful scenery, and still is relatively close to Disney in particular, and not too far away from Orlando as well. It is a little bit further from Orlando and is a little bit more on the outskirt of the Orlando metro. However, it is still really relatively close to Disney and the Turnpike. So it's still a relatively convenient location, even with it being more of a quiet, peaceful location that's not as busy and is a little bit outside of some of the tourist areas. Those are the pros and cons of living in Minneola, Florida. Thanks for watching, and now watch the map tour of living in Minneola, Florida on the screen now.